Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the October 15th regular meeting of the Zion City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Here.
Commissioner Fisher?
Here.
Commissioner Holmes?
Here.
Commissioner McDowell? Mayor McKinney?
Here. Item number 3, Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Bremner, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Bremner. Item 4, agenda changes.
I have an agenda change.
All right.
I move to remove item 5.
Second.
All right, we have first and second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Motion carries. 4-0. Item number
We're gonna give him the TikTok.
Break his leg.
All right. Next item is citizens' comments. We have Mr. Bremner.
Sir, I request permission to remain seated.
Permission granted.
Mayor McKinney, honorable sirs, gentle lady in absentia. Several months ago, in these chambers, I called your attention to an article in the Chicago Tribune regarding restoration of Illinois Beach State Park. Yesterday, in Tribune, October 14th, 2024, there was an article about the breakwater thingies that they put in have caused rip currents, which are potentially deadly to swimmers. They interviewed the fire chiefs in the harbor and Beach Park about their efforts to save lives. They've had difficulty. There have been quite a few deaths. I request permission to bring this to the mayor.
Permission granted. It was a $73 million project done on the beach by the state. We were at a press conference about a couple of weeks ago about that with the breakwaters that were designed to help restore the beach line.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Permission to stand down. sir.
Permission granted. And I know also we've had several deaths with swimmers on the beach this year, and we have been talking with the respective fire departments about trying to get a rescue boat down there that could be shared between the departments. So thank you, and I'll have a chance to go through this.
Sir.
All right, item number 7. Item number 7 is consent agenda.
Approval of minutes of a regular meeting held on October 1st, 2024 at 7 p.m.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Motion by Fisher,
Second.
second by Holmes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries 4-0.
Bills, vouchers 146905 through 146985, drawn on Huntington National Bank. Total $962,369.25.
Is there a motion to approve the bills?
I'll move to approve the bills.
Motion by Fisher,
Second.
second by Frierson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries 4-0.
Receive and place on file the treasurer's report for fiscal year ending April 30th, 2024.
Is there a motion to receive and place on file the treasurer's report?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Fisher,
Second.
Second.
second by Frierson, and a Cole, second by Holmes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Item number 8, consider passing resolution as follows. 8A, authorizing the City of Zion to intervene in a tax exemption assessment matter concerning real property located within the City of Zion, per City Attorney Jimmy Vasella.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, lady and gentlemen of the board. What we are asking for today is our ability to contest the tax appeal exemption application for Midwest Regional Medical Center, DBA, FKA, formerly known as the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, now known as the City of Hope. This is exactly the same procedure that we followed last year when we made an application to contest their plea for tax exempt status. We were successful last year, and we hope to be successful again this year. We do look for a favorable vote on this motion.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Frierson,
Second.
second by Fisher. Questions or comments? City Attorney, with this, the City of Hope trying to go for tax exemption status, and I know Administrator Nabel will talk about this a little bit more, and maybe departmental comments, but what kind of impact that will have on the city?
It is the largest taxpayer in the city. It reflects, what, 1/8 of the tax base?
Yeah, a little more than that, actually. It's about $5 million a year that they pay in for all of the taxing bodies of the community. Our share of that would be about $750,000 that we stand to lose. We wouldn't necessarily lose all of that, but we'd have another situation where it was like the closure of the nuclear power plant, where that burden gets shifted to residents if we don't offset that with a reduction in levy.
Yeah, the residents and the businesses in town, which is one of the reasons that we've been fighting so hard with this CJA money to convince the other taxing bodies to abate their taxes and be able to help our residents out that are struggling with property taxes, and some of our senior citizens that are also dealing with just the issues of being able to afford their medications and pay for their mortgages. Okay.
Administrator Davis, so that 5 million, that is them in aggregate, not broken down for any properties that may not be exempt?
That's the aggregate of the pins that they're applying for exemption for.
Okay, thank you.
And we are contesting all pins.
Yes.
Any other questions? All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Item number 9, discussion authorization approval. 9A, consider approval of all other fund budgets per Director Conway.
Good evening, thank you very much. What you have in front of you is the proposed budget for the fiscal year running May 1st, 2024 to April 30th, 2025. This includes all funds except for motor fuel tax fund and the street and bridge fund, which you have already approved their budgets. Just a couple other highlights. CJA grant funds for some of the capital expenditures, increase in the costs for water. We didn't increase the rates until October 1st, so there's a little bit of offset and delay in the revenue recapture on that. And the water and sewer project increase from those rates will help with the projects that need to occur this year. I recommend approval of these budgets as presented for the year ending April 30th, 2025.
All right, is there a motion to approve the other budget, fund budgets for Director Conway?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Motion by Fisher,
Second.
second by Holmes. Questions or comments?
I had a question before we came into the meeting. Did we get resolution on, there was a line item, adjustment increase of 57,000 for investigations. Did we get resolution on what that was for?
I think that largely had to do with grant funded type projects. So we've got which I don't think are reflected in the grant revenue side. We just have the COPS grant on the grant revenue side. But what was the name of the grant, chief, for the flock?
It was retail theft. It was the Illinois Retail Theft Corridor Grant, something like that. I can't remember.
Which was about 30,000.
That's just over 32, about 30,000, 32,000. And then there was the IPRF grant, safety grant, that was includes new materials in there as well.
So should we be making adjustments to revenue based on that? Is that, am I understanding that correctly?
We could add 32,000 to the grant revenue line item.
Okay.
To reflect that. I mean, it's, again, the budget's a internal guide document. We already did the appropriation ordinance for the formal approval. So, I mean, things are gonna be over or under budget, but, you know, I'm sure there's other items in there that will be unforeseen and things like that, but if you'd like to amend the motion to approve the budget with the increase of 32,000, we can, you know, that's an option.
I err on the side of yes, just for accuracy.
It increases our bottom line net income, which is, we do have a balanced budget for the fourth year in a row finally. So, it's a good trend compared to some very rough years over the past 10 to 15 years, so.
So we have a motion with the amendment?
I'll second.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries 4-0. Now, item number 10, departmental commentary. Director Ianson.
Thank you, Your Honor. We started the demolition of the old nursing home on 27th Street. It's on schedule, things are going well. We anticipate it's going to be about a 30 or 40 day process for meeting the
Did you say 30 or 40 day?
takes a little time.
Yeah, but it's good to see it started, and one of those projects we've been working on for the last 10 years to try to find out who the owner was first and foremost, and take it, ownership of the property to be able to demolish it. It'll make a big improvement in that area, no doubt about it. Yeah. Director Roberts?
Thanks, sir. Little update on the inventory for the lead line services. We're almost closing that off to about 200 more. Contacting residents and trying to set up time so we can get in and take a look. If we can't, we'll end up potholing outside of there. It's just completed hopefully by the end of the month of November. So with that being said, it's almost 99% complete. So far, we are lucky that we have only found 40 lead service. So previously, we had talked about applying for a $5 million IEPA loan on that. We are now reducing that, and once we do this in November, 100%, we will apply for about $2 million. And that will do the total replacement once we find out that for the residents. So, good news there.
All right.
Street project is, again, almost 80% complete. If you've driven out over there, please be careful. The binder is down, that's the first course of asphalt. However, you still have manhole covers, they've adjusted those, and those are sticking up. They could put a little dent in their tire if you hit one too fast. They're marked, so most of them have barricades around them. The schedule on that, of course, this rain's kind of holding it up. I think we still have more forecasts here, so hopefully end of the week or first part of next week, we'll get the wiring course, the surface course put down, and that project will be almost complete.
And that's the 31st Street in
31st
Lebanon?
to finish the Lebanon, 31st from Lewis to Galloway.
Okay.
So it's a good stretch.
Question I have when you
I
mentioned,
guess you're allergic to them?
you could say that, but you're at a safe distance. Speaking of rain and with fall coming, can you talk about leaves, and I think one of the things with the catch basins that we have around the city, I know for years we've asked help with residents that they would clear the leaves or debris out of the catch basins.
Yeah, I mean, that's a continual item for us. I've expressed before, we have a very small crew on that side, but we're continuously out there trying to keep those catch basins open. But as I've said before, we have almost 38,000 catch basins out there, and only a 9-man crew, so numbers don't work out in our favor. So any help we can get from residents, if they see a catch basin, just rake them up onto the parkway, and we can pick it up from there.
All right. All right. Thank you, Director Roberts.
Thank you.
Chief Street, good to see you back.
Good to be back, good to be feeling better. Sorry I missed last time, but good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I just had one brief thing to bring up, but actually I'm gonna add a second based on the article Mr. Brunner shared. Thanks for bringing that forward. The break, it's very difficult to prove that the break wall work down there causes, the recurrence or problems down there, but it is a fact that we, along with our neighbors, with the Carver to the north and Beach Park to the south, responded to emergencies on the water this year much more than the last few years combined. So we'll be looking into those type of details as we get ready for next season. So speaking of with the Carver and Beach Park, I'm glad I wasn't quoted in the article, by the way. But we are all three working together with both DNR, state, and federal resources, not just on a potential boat that will be at the marina up in North Harbor, but other initiatives as well. We really would like to see lifeguards, life rings, some different equipment that would really help our operations when we do have to respond down there. So that work continues, and we hope to be ready for next season, even though it seems like this season just ended. Next swimming season will be here before we know it, and we hope to be ready for the same type of emergencies that come up then too. And we'll, of course, keep you up to date on those efforts with our politicians and local agencies that we can hopefully secure some funding for. The only other thing I was going to add was Fire Prevention Week just wrapped up. We had a successful open house, visited some of our schools. Just a reminder to everybody of the theme of this year was smoke alarms, make them work for you. So we just hope that everybody does check their smoke alarm. Smoke alarms plural in your home or wherever you reside, and make sure it's working. And if it's more than 5 to 10 years old, it's probably due for a replacement. If you have any questions on that, my phone and email is always open. Just let us know.
All right. Thank you, Chief Street.
You're welcome.
Chief Barton.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. A fun fact, I was awakened a couple of days ago from my smoke detectors going off at 6 o'clock in the morning. But I have no idea why. We have a ghost, I guess.
Incidentally, our mayor's had some issues with the smoke alarm in the past too, right?
Yeah,
Sorry to
that
bring that up.
was a lot of fun.
Something. No, I ain't been a cooking. I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
It was involving cooking.
Yeah.
Just a couple things that I had tonight. Just a reminder for some upcoming events was Beverly Stackhouse's presence tonight. So a reminder of her Oktoberfest coming up. Gotcha. Hey, I stole your thunder. That's a first. We don't usually steal yours. But that's coming up, and then believe it or not, we are already starting our prepping and planning for our shop at the top. So we are looking for community partners that want to participate or contribute or donate. Every year this has been a growing event and continued success with partnership with the Coalition for Health Communities and others in our community. It's tremendous. It's a great time for these young people and families in our community. And believe it or not, we are already starting that prep. So just a reminder.
You mentioned the Oktoberfest, which I was going to mention from on October 26th, Salem Boulevard in Jethro, 4 to 8 p.m. Oktoberfest. Hay rides, food vendors are out there. It was a great event last year. It hoped to get more participation this year, but if my memory serves me correctly, there is a coffee
Coffee with a Cop coming up.
on October 26th. Is that?
I believe it's the 26th, yes.
Yes.
Yep. At McDonald's, company, 9 a.m. I believe. is what-
9 to 12, yeah.
All right.
They didn't do it at 7 a.m. this time, which I greatly appreciate.
Yeah.
On a Saturday morning.
All right. Thank you, Chief Barton. Director Conway?
Good evening, again. I just want to reiterate that although the county is open for early voting, the city of Zion does not start until the 21st. So people are coming in with their ballots, or coming in to vote. We don't control that. Lake County Clerk, any questions? Lake County Clerk, there's information on our website that'll take you right to the Lake County Clerk. But unfortunately, we don't control the early voting hours here at City Hall. And although we'd like to accommodate everyone, there's really nothing we can do when they come in. So please, Lake County Clerk.
And to add to that, Chief, could we make sure that that is also out on our administrative neighbor, any of our social media pages? Because I've had several residents ask me about the early voting here at City Hall. There are a lot of people that want to participate in this very important election this year. So October 21st, the early voting starts here at Zion City Hall, and we will put some more notifications out for our residents. But as you said, this is the county's event. We just have the building, and they determine everything that goes on here. All right, thank you, Director Conway. Administrator Nabel.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. I want to expand a little bit on the City of Hope exemption, combined with what Director Conway said earlier with CEJA funds. The state just released their second round of funding for CEJA. This is a 22 or 23 year program, so the first round is done. We're finally starting to get reimbursements from that from 2 years ago when it was released, but we're going to be applying for the second round of that as well, with the intent that we're still pushing for us and other taxing bodies to use those funds to help abate taxes and reduce the burden. Those funds are coming as a result of the spent nuclear fuel on our shores. When we lost the power plant, we lost $19 million a year of taxes that went to all of the taxing bodies. I'm going to correct that a little bit. We didn't lose all the 19 million. Like I said, that burden got shifted to residents and businesses. Property taxes are a very complicated issue, as anyone who attended my dollars and cents presentation know. There's a lot of nuances and a lot of cause and effect things happening. But while City of Hope is a good partner within the community and good jobs and good employer, the $5 million they pay a year in taxes is crucial for infrastructure and services that they benefit from, just like our businesses and residents. So we make sure to take the lead on fighting to ensure that this isn't another burden that's passed on to residents through the process. So there's a lot of things we do every day to try and control taxes and fight for our residents, and this is just another one. We don't have a lot of authority in this, but anyone who attended the hearing at the county knows there was a lot of work and effort put into this effort the first year. When everyone said we didn't even have a chance, that this was just an automatic, we won not only at the local level and the state level, but there's a lot of time and work and energy that goes on behind the scenes that isn't seen a lot of times, and I recommend all the staff involved, the attorneys and outside consultant that we pulled in, forensic accountants, everything. This is a hard battle. So it does have an impact. We're not just trying to be the bad guys and saying we don't want a hospital to benefit from tax exemption, but it does have an impact on our community that's very significant, that we think is a fair balance.
All right.
As far as the process, so can you talk a little bit about that? It goes to Lake County Board of Review, and then are they essentially a recommending body, and then it goes to the state?
Correct. They have a hearing on it, which you have an opportunity to basically make your case one way or another to intervene. and then they make a recommendation that goes down to the Illinois Department of Revenue, where they'll hear or affirm or deny the application process. Last year, it was a very strong, favorable recommendation for us from the county. The state took that into consideration, but they requested a lot of additional information and gave them multiple chances to fulfill that. They kept extending the date, saying, if you don't get this to us, it's gonna be denied, gonna be denied, gonna be denied, and finally it was. But basically, we have to go through that same process again, reviewing the hundreds of pages of application, reviewing the financials, seeing what qualifies, what doesn't, to contend that they don't meet the requirements. Nonprofit hospitals are nonprofits are different from property tax exempt. There's different qualifications to meet to be income tax exempt versus property tax. Very few nonprofits are eligible to be property tax exempt. Hospitals are one, but it's a high standard to meet, and we want to make sure that if they're going to get awarded it, that they actually do what's required to get that.
All right, thank you.
Also, David, in regard to that, what's the timeline for when we have to be ready for this hearing?
I think it's very quick. They submitted their application at the kind of the last minute. I want to say it's mid-November, to prep and have the hearing. I want to say the 14th or something like that, where we'll have the second round of hearing, second year of hearing on that.
Okay, yeah, please keep us in the loop so that
Yeah,
if we can, we
absolutely.
can show up and,
Yeah, we had good showing of support
Support
from all the taxing
from all the
bodies,
taxing bodies.
residents, at the last one, and we want to duplicate that.
All right, that was the sound of more monopoly money. Thank you, Administrator Nabel,
Sure.
Director, Commissioner, no comments tonight?
let's ask Commissioner Holmes if she has anything to comment.
Commissioner Holmes, do you have anything you'd like to say to the council?
Nothing for me.
Nothing for Commissioner Frierson?
I just have one thing. David mentioned this, is that we're in our fourth year of balanced budgets. And I know when Mayor McKinney, when he was first commissioner and when I was first elected, we were going through some very, very tight times and dealing with some big deficits. And it's not that we suddenly just got more money. It's these department heads and city staff and everyone did the hard work of keeping our costs down and squeezing every dime. And, I think it needs to be recognized that, 4 years in a row, that's not bad. That's good work, and we want to keep it going. So, thanks very much, everyone.
Yeah, I'd echo that, just excellent work, and just being able to find the money through grants has been a tremendous bonus for us, and we've also received so much help from our elected officials that have worked with us and understood the financial issues that we've had. Can't say enough about the department heads. We try to compliment you as much as we can in working with Administrator Nabel, but that is terrific work from where we came from. So we need to congratulate ourselves and pat ourselves on the back every now and then and just acknowledge the hard work that we've been doing on behalf of our residents and being fiscally responsible on a very, very tight budget. And this is doing it during the pandemic. And one of the things that we didn't do during the pandemic was we did not cut staff. We thought it was important to maintain those services. And while there was some discussion about that during the pandemic, everyone agreed that we couldn't penalize our employees in that manner. And I think I know that it's really helped the culture here, the working culture here at Zion City Hall. So department heads, Dave, thank you so much. Director Conway, thank you so much for the hard work that you continue to do each and every day. We appreciate you. Item number 11 is announcements, October 25th from 4 to 6. It's the Zion Park District Trail of Treats. And right now, you've got about 10 days, 9 days, 10 days before you decide what kind of costume you're gonna wear this year. It's always fun, and we'll have a table there. The Coalition for Health Communities will have a table there, handing out candies. It's just been a great event. Again, on the 26th, we have the Coffee with a Cop at McDonald's. Not the one that's currently being built on 173, but the one right on 173 and Sheridan Road. I'll show up for that. Does hot chocolate count instead of coffee? Okay, appreciate that. And then again, later that night, Oktoberfest being hosted again for the second straight year by Beverly Stackhouse. Again, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Salem Boulevard and Jethro Avenue, right across from West School. Great event. It was well attended last year. The weather was great. And going on my first hayride was quite a treat. So we look forward to that, and thank you for organizing that, Beverly. And October 22nd, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., Zion Trick or Treating. See what kind of weather we will have for that. And then, of course, get into November 5th, at 7 p.m., there will be a Zion City Council meeting. Moving on to item number 12 is closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2 open meetings for the discussion of threatened and or probable or imminent litigation, collective bargaining, purchase or sale of real estate and personnel. And pending litigation. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Motion by Fisher, second by Frierson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fryerson?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye, motion carries. We will have one more item to item of business conduct when we come out. You can remain here as we go into closed session, or you can go home. But thank you for coming out on this rainy, cold fall night.